Hey everybody, I'm doing a show your shit because Emergent hasn't done his yet, and I don't think he will, so I decided to take the liberty of doing one myself. So I'm gonna make this real brief because as you can see, my shelf is pretty fucking small. There's a lot of stuff in it, but I actually had to stack stuff behind my other games, which I fucking hate doing, but it is what it is. So starting off, we have my Sony consoles at the top, um, which is actually terrible to put there, I think, because the PS3 is kind of a dust magnet. As you can see, my PS3 is kind of dirty. I have to really fucking clean that, but I'm a lazy ass piece of shit, so I haven't cleaned it yet. Over here we have my PS4, which is the Final Fantasy 15 edition. And beside that, I decided to aptly put my Final Fantasy PS4 collection, with Cloud, of course, in front of it. I guess I'll also show my PS4 games. You got Shenmue, Digimon World, Nier, Detroit, Crash, Spyro, Shadow of the Colossus, Bayonetta and Vanquish, the Heavy Rain and fucking Beyond Two Souls collection, I'm illiterate, Ratchet and Clank, which is a pretty piss poor remake, I will be honest, but I still want to own it because it was pretty fun, but compared to the original, it wasn't that great, in my opinion. The Last Guardian with the irreversible cover. It's a game that I actually haven't tried out yet, but I do plan on trying it soon. And Katamari Damacy Reroll, which is probably my favorite game on my PS4, next to Shenmue, but Shenmue is also a Dreamcast game, so... But then again, Katamari is also a PS2 game, so... I mean, a lot of these games are just kind of like remakes of PS2 games. And most of them are also on PC, but I still like to have physical media for some games. I also have Metal Gear Solid 5, which I didn't say aloud, but I do own that. So now we're gonna go to my little PS1 collection, which I aptly put my PS1 Mini in front of. There's a USB in it because I modded it to have more games, because as you know, the PS1 Classic has a pretty mediocre library, to be honest. And also the PAL stuff is an issue, but we forgive it. So over here we have Final Fantasy IX, Parasite Eve, the Japanese version of Klonoa, because I can't afford the English one, but I still really like the game, so I wanted it physical. Then we have Final Fantasy Chronicles, which is just Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger. I don't know why Chrono Trigger is in it, but you know. Then we have Silent Hill, which I actually replayed recently and kind of enjoyed it. I think I prefer Silent Hill over 2 and 3. Digimon World, good classic, and Breath of Fire 3, which I haven't gotten around to playing yet, but I heard it's an amazing game, so I really wanted it. I'm gonna move Tails over here. Ignore him. Also, just wanted to comment, his head is like really fucking big for some reason. I don't know, he's got like a brain tumor or something. So here's my PS2 collection, which is unfortunately very big. We got Nocturne, Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga, Ratchet and Clanks, Onimushas, Sonic Riders, Yakuza 2, and I'm actually gonna have to like move some stuff here. I apologize. I will reorganize this later, I just kind of want to do it for the video. Oh fuck, Shenmue just died. Speaking of which, the Shenmue anime is coming out today, so that's pretty fucking dope. But aside from that, we have... we love Katamari. Not ported, unfortunately, but it's probably my favorite PS2 game. Or Klonoa 2, actually. Both of them are great. I also have Evergrace and Tales of Abyss here because I couldn't fit them anywhere else, so I just put them on top. The Metal Gear Solids, more Ratchet and Clanks, Tales of Helia, I'm not sure. Final Fantasies, because you know me, I'm a Final Fantasy connoisseur. I love that fucking series, even though I never played 6. Sorry, Gauntlet. Then I have Sly Cooper collection as well, Katamari Forever, which is a little bit worse than the sequel and first game, but I still kind of enjoy it. I have a Japanese PSP game. Don't worry, it's just Final Fantasy III, but it's translated, so and I kind of wanted it on PSP to keep in line with the Sony stuff. Then we have more Ratchet & Clanks, which I actually haven't played these Ratchet & Clank games, mostly because I don't have a PSP right now. But, you know. More Final Fantasies, and probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, Crisis Core. Moving along, the shelf is small. We have Nintendo stuff. So I got like my Sony stuff up here and then my Nintendo stuff down here. So we got The World Ends With You, which is, I think, a good game. I actually still haven't played it. I hate myself for not playing it, but I own it. Pokemon Platinum, which I'm going to sell. Fuck Pokemon. Radiant Historia, pretty interesting game. I played a couple hours of it. Shin Megami Tensei 4, the best Shin Megami game in my opinion. Although 2 and 1, like, don't really exist here. So. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, pretty fun game. Amazing beginner RPG if you haven't really gotten into that genre. Super Mario 3D Land. Super Mario 3D Land. Okay, cringe. Pokemon Rumble Blast, which I actually think is kind of fun. I got my red Wii. I decided to put Donkey Kong and Captain Falcon here because they're the best Nintendo characters, in my opinion. I'm not gonna move my 3DS games because you can kind of just see what I have here, but I have Pac-Man World 2, Star Fox, Harvest Moon. This is all GameCube. The Harvest Moon game is pretty interesting, but I don't think it's amazing. I prefer Harvest Moon Back to Nature. The Star Fox game is my second favorite Star Fox game. I'm looking at you, Emergent. And Pac-Man World 2 is just pretty fun in my opinion. Super Mario Sunshine is the best Mario game. 64 is my second favorite, but I really don't like Galaxy. There's my opinion on Mario games, I guess. Kirby's Epic Yarn is very fun in my opinion, very simple game. You know, if I feel like I'm 2 years old, I will play that game. Animal Crossing, the first one is pretty unique in my opinion. The subsequent entries are not as interesting in my opinion. Like, I think the villagers are better in Animal Crossing GameCube, and I like the music a bit more as well, so that's why I keep it. Metroid Prime, pretty solid game. I got through half of it, really enjoyed it. I really want to get the sequel once I beat it. Sonic, you know, my love for Sonic has kind of dissipated, but I still want to keep my Sonic games for nostalgic purposes. Tales of Symphonia, I haven't beaten it, but I thought it was pretty fun. The combat's a bit repetitive, but the story is very engaging. We're gonna move Donkey Kong for a sec. God, I fucking love him. He looks so fucking stupid, but I love him. I have some more Sonic games that I actually plan on selling. I might keep Unleashed because I have very fond memories with it, but I'm going to sell Colors and Secret Rings. They're kind of bad. Sega Superstar Tennis is actually kind of fun, but not as good as Virtua Tennis. Black Knight, Punch-Out, the third Metroid Prime game, and Fragile Dreams. Fragile Dreams is actually a pretty fun horror game. I really like the fucking art in it. And there's a girl wearing a trash bag. Though you can't really see it from here, but trust me if you played the game, which I don't think anybody has, but if you do, you'll know what I mean. So here's my N64 collection, which I really don't want to pull out, but I will post a picture at the end of this video. I have some manuals, like F-Zero X and Star Fox. I think the other one is Mario. Yeah, Super Mario. These are basically my favorite N64 games that I put out for display. So Mega Man, Zero X, and of course Mischief Makers, which is like the second video game I ever owned in my life. It's like the first Nintendo game I ever owned. Like, that isn't Sonic. So then we have my Sega stuff, which isn't much, but that's mostly because I have a modded Saturn. Look at that SD card, wow! And then we got my yellowed Dreamcast tour. It's not my Dreamcast, I got it from Gauntlet, and I kind of like how crusty it looks. I put my Sonic amiibo because, you know, Sega. I have a Dead or Alive manual that I found by accident. It was in one of these games for some reason, but I don't actually own Dead or Alive 2 here right now. It's at my dad's house. Here are my Panzer Dragoon games. I kept them physical just because that's like my favorite series on Saturn. Gun Valkyrie, Sega GT, JSRF, fucking literally, these are all great, fantastic games, and they're all fucking Sega. Because Sega kinda like helped with the Xbox market. And I think behind I have a couple more Xbox games that I will show, which are... oh dear. Alright, so we got, I sound like Nuke. We got PsyOps, Fable, GTA, Silent Hill 4, the best Silent Hill game. I know I said Silent Hill 1, but then I remembered that 4 exists, and never mind, that's the best one. Castle Mid, Simpsons, Hit and Run, and some Dreamcast and more Saturn. I believe the Japanese Saturn game is Daedalus, and then we have Sonic R for the soundtrack, and Grandia 2. So, yeah, I don't even have Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 here. But yeah, that's my show your shit. Those are some clothing, ignore that, but yeah, that's my show your shit. Very small collection, I know, but I quite enjoy it. Take care and have a wonderful day, I guess. Bye. Peace. Ryo Hazuki. So, I have my N64 pictures here. I put them in 2 separate pictures, mostly because I think this batch is kind of like the, oh, it's good to like great, and then the next picture I have is like all the goated N64 games that I personally love. So we have Yoshi's Story, which I actually quite enjoy, but a lot of people don't like it because it's too easy, but I really suck ass at video games, so that's why I own it. We got the 2 Zeldas, which are, you know, considered to be classics, and I can kind of agree with that. I prefer Ocarina of Time over Majora's Mask though. The F-Zero game is just a reproduction that takes the GBA F-Zero courses and puts them into 3D. It's actually pretty interesting for what it manages to do. Pokemon Stadium and Hey You Pikachu are 2 games that I have for pure nostalgia, especially Hey You Pikachu because that game sucks ass. That stupid fucking yellow rat never listens to you, but I still think it's pretty funny to play. Super Mario 64 is my second favorite Mario game, and also a copy that I've had since I was a kid, which is why the label looks dried out. But, you know, nonetheless I want to keep it because of nostalgia and also because it's a great game. Paper Mario looks like it just survived a fire accident. I don't know what the fuck happened to that label because I bought it like that, but, you know, we forgive the person who fucking incinerated it. It's fine. Donkey Kong 64 is the... probably a pretty mid game actually. I've only played about 2 hours of it and I thought it was alright, but the reasons why I keep it is because I want to keep that fucking cartridge. I like how it's yellow like a banana. That's fucking ape as hell. Chunky Kong is also in the game and he's pretty legendary, and also the DK rap is one of the best songs ever created on the N64. Kirby and the Crystal Shards is a very good Kirby game, which isn't something I would say to a lot of Kirby games. Tetrasphere is a very unique puzzle game. I mean, it is Tetris, but it's like this weird 3D sphere where you gotta like twirl it around and like put these blocks on it. I don't know, I actually think it's pretty fun. And yeah, that's the first batch of N64 games that I own. The goated pile. These are honestly the N64 games that I personally would always keep in my collection. If you see somebody with these games, you know they're very based. So, Pokemon Snap, very fun rail shooter type game. I sound like I never played it, but I have actually played it several times and I really fucking enjoy it. Next to that we have Harvest Moon 64, which is my second favorite Harvest Moon game. Very similar to Back to Nature, but just a few things here and there that tweak it to make it interesting. But it's got the same characters and stuff. I don't know, Natsume just kinda reused their assets for some reason, I don't know. Mischief Makers, which is, you know, my favorite N64 game, honestly. After replaying it, I think it's fucking phenomenal, and I recommend it to any of you who don't have it. Super Smash Bros. Is an interesting game because I like it, but honestly, after my friend beat my ass in it this one time, I kinda hate it, but I still think it's fun. But I have like PTSD playing that fucking game, especially with Ness. Fuck that character. F-Zero X is probably my second favorite N64 game. It's one of the few N64 games that runs at 60 FPS, which is actually very, very advantageous for the game itself. Makes you feel super fucking fast. Star Fox 64, also an amazing game. Probably my favorite Star Fox game. It's pretty funny that Nintendo peaked with the first Star Fox game, but you know. Mega Man 64, or Mega Man Legends, is a great game as well. It's kind of funny how a 3D Mega Man is better than most 2D Mega Mans. Now, this is pretty unsuspecting, but when you take the games out, you can actually see Majima at the bottom staring at you, which I thought was a pretty funny Easter egg that I felt like sharing.